Good morning, everybody. This is Christy. I am the Intimate Warrior. I thank you so much for stopping by, and as always, I send you love. Today is December the 3rd already. There have been periods throughout recently, especially in my process, where I feel as if I'm living within the future time. For example, like ordinarily this could feel like next week for myself, or a Sunday instead of today being a Thursday. But recently I have been the exact opposite, where things have slowed down in time, yet I'm speeding up. I hope it makes sense. It's so hard to explain. I think we're still in the last week of November, as if Thanksgiving Day and the remaining few days kind of lingered there. Yet I have been expanding. Time has kind of stood still for me. Yet I have been evolving at a higher rate. If you are going through that, you know exactly what I am talking about. And so, a few things that I wanted to talk about today. Tapping into the Akashic Records, because we have been tapping into 0 point, which there is a 0 point field, or the infinite field of energy that resides through source, through the galaxy, wherever this 0 point energy field is located. And we also have infinite source, infinite or 0 point energy field within the earth. In order to actually get into the Akashic Records, you have to have those 7 main chakras already open, activated, cleared, and allowing you to tap into your transpersonal, or those spiritual higher chakras, to the point where all of those, however many, are supposed to open and activate for you, because your heart is already dictating how far you're going to go. If you are an individual who is feeling really pressed, who can't shake things loose, or not learning your lessons, you're actually closing off higher chakras that you can attain. Be open, be more receptive, learn, be mindful and aware of what lessons are coming into your life, so that you can go far. There is no limit to source, and you should not be limiting yourself. So the process is that every chakra, 8 through 12, or 8 through 15, 8 through 22, 8 through however, it's infinite. You're going to open, of course, 8, which when you're in there will begin the opening of the 9th, and quite possibly even the 10th, where you are kind of tapping into all 3 of these. It's like our light body activation. You can be in a level 5. You're going to tap into level 6 and 7 a little bit, so you can learn and grow. That's why sometimes it can feel so heavy, because you're clearing and learning so much within the process. Not just one level, not just one chakra, multi. You are a multi-dimensional being who can do multiple things at one time. And when you get to clearing all of those chakras that are necessary and that you are ready for, that's when you begin, source light can come down again, make you open or come back into your soul star chakra. That's where your higher self resides, where you can tap into the Akashic records. That's where you can attain information about everything about you. When you are ready, you will know. The gates will be open for you to enter. Why? Because when you have opened and activated all of those chakras above your soul star, that light comes down again, sends that signal to the soul star, sends a signal to your heart, and also is going to open up your earth star chakra. You cannot tap into the Akashic records without having your earth star chakra open and activated. The earth star chakra is going to be the last chakra that gets you online in your field, because you have to first learn your process, who you are, work your healing, do that shadow work, purging, purification, the resurrection within you, to the point of, okay, that soul star is saying you are ready for this. Let's go and ground yourself and connect your roots into the earth, so that when you bring in your spiritual bodies into your form, when you bring in that divine light and information into your form, you can handle that information because you have been deeply rooted. Your tree is so substantial. It is grounded. It is merged with the earth. And the information is now going back from top to bottom, in and down, through and around. It's cycling information into you. The earth's field contains information about your past. It is a part of the Akashic records. The heaven, the infinite source within this galaxy, is about you as well as the planet. So I hope that helps there in that perspective. And that is where many of us are now. We are still attempting to get through the doorways of the Akashic record, and that is what I actually, a few days ago, yesterday was a day of, I just need to kind of be. I felt about 4 o'clock in the evening, I felt this change taking place. I was like a sense that I've never had. I was like, something has completely changed, and I couldn't place it. I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I just felt this complete, like, where am I? I was in a very familiar place. I've been there before. I've enjoyed time there before. But it was as if the place, the world that I know was different and changing. And I hope to make sense about this to you. So a few days ago, I actually I saw Jesus' feet. He opened up the doorway for me and walked through this gateway, and I was following. But I couldn't go any further. I wasn't ready to go further yet. and that was a couple of days ago, I was told the word starseed. And I was also told that I had to learn something prior to stepping through. And so yesterday I kind of was beating myself up. Not really beating myself up, but I began communicating with my higher self and with God. I'm a little bit confused. I don't know what lesson I have to learn. Please bring this into my awareness. I was busy throughout the day with family, working with things, and so I was still trying to be mindful. Is there something here today that I'm supposed to understand? That I have failed in my past that's now coming back up again? Please, let me become aware. And so with that change that I felt, I was like, I wonder if it has something to do with this. Well, last night, I was able to see the library. Now, a couple of weeks ago, or throughout this month of November, I walked into a sitting room, which I had a sense was going to be a connection with my library, or the step prior to getting through. That place where Source, your guides, are trying to make you feel comfortable and at ease. So when you get through your gateway to that library, however it's going to look for you, it looks completely different, or can look completely different. Because I've seen YouTube videos with just somebody who put an image of a library, and where you can look down this hall full of just books and books and books. And so from time to time, when I'm creating stillness, I just imagine a library, a long hall full of books, just like you do when you go to the library. Mine didn't look like that last night. I couldn't get past where I was at. I wasn't ready. I was about 10 to 20 feet away from where this golden ladder was at. My hall is rounded. It was, and it had gold trim around it. Lots of gold glittering everywhere. And that ladder was very tall, again, in that gold trim. And I could it was just right there. If I were to just reach out, I knew I could grab hold of it. And so I was given 2 names of my gatekeepers. But again, I could not go any further. I am not yet prepared. But in also receiving or being able to observe my hall, I felt the intense grounding taking place. The earth chakra, earth star chakra, and Mother Gaia is definitely connecting with me. So that has been part of my experience here. Now also, I have been mentioning severe head congestion, upper chest and head congestion. This is that energy that is, again, arising, that has cleared its blockway through my throat via the Alta Major and, of course, the CSF, or the life force energy, is rising within the crown, making all those connections and stuff. And I knew that this was doing the upgrade. And this has not been mucus or anything discharged that has been green or looks infected. It has nothing. It hasn't been like that for myself. Even if it had been, I would not have sought medical attention. That is my my choice. I do not hand power any longer to outside sources. I used to be an individual that believed in an illness. If you guys know my story, after my auto accident for about 15, 16 years, it was a heck of a time, where I handed my power to the medical community and thusly was losing control of my life. I self-heal as best as I possibly can and have done an awesome job because I believe in the power that has been given to me. I know it's not always easy. You do whatever you feel is right within your own heart to do, and there's no judgment on my part towards anybody who seeks medical assistance. I just know myself because I really handed way too much over to the medical community. I lost my soul, my spirit. I lost everything within me because I trusted them instead of trusting who I was. I would take medication and I would become even more sick. And I knew something wasn't right. So, I stick with saline. Every now and then I will use Tylenol, but I even try not to use that. Every now and then I might reach for Mucinex to help with that purification of the mucus. But I am really trying to just stick with saline and handing power over to source too. And of course lots of liquids in the process. And again, if you are still in your early on in your process where you're trying to learn in trusting your source connection, and you are still dealing with a lot of illnesses and chronic conditions, please know in my heart that I'm asking you to trust yourself. Stick with what is working with what you're using. Don't just stop what you are doing because of what I am choosing to do in my life. What I choose may not work for you right now. The whole process throughout our growth is to implement faith, trust, love, and it takes time. It is not an overnight process. So please do what is right for you. You will never, if you know that it's right for you, you can never be judged for what you are doing because your heart is expressing that you are loving yourself. And there's nothing wrong with you loving yourself. And so back to this purging that I've been going through with the crown and upper chest. So I knew I was upgrading. I'm like, well, to what? Of course, we don't understand what's really taking place. So, of course, there's so many chakras within our bodies. There's thousands, really. Main ones and then minor ones. And those minor ones really can be really more significant than the main ones. Yet they can't open up until you have your main ones open. And so, well, of course, when we begin to open or activate the full crown, the full brain function, the pineal and pituitary complete function, you're going to expand on all of your senses. I had, within the last 2 days, huge popping within my ears. I knew my ear chakras have finally been open to hearing, because I have also been expanding on hearing other multi-dimensional beings and voices. And I have also picking up more on that knowingness or telepathy, whatever you call it, recently here, and it is, of course, going to expand more as we embody love consciousness, Christ consciousness, unity consciousness, going back to the source of creation. That's what it's all about. Knowing from the heart, living from the heart, understanding and seeing from things that we cannot see, or ordinary people cannot see. So we are upgrading on all of that even right now, which is working our way up to that great event that's approaching. And there are a lot of people who are talking about this event as something that's going to be catastrophic. I don't see anything as a bad thing in my life, period. There's nothing bad that's going to take place unless you believe in bad. I don't. Everything that takes place is an opportunity for growth, for expansion, and this is going to be one of the biggest things that many of us are going to experience in this lifetime. I have expressed it as the collective baptism. This, and in one of my videos, The Bread of Life, I believe I spoke about what the bread of life represents. The Bethlehem within you, the birth, that purification, the baptism, the water, everything that's taking place. The two planets that are merging are considered to be the Christmas star, and the brightest star that the wise men witnessed, because when both of them during that time merged together, they created such a brightness. They were so big and looked as if they were, of course, bigger than what they are. And that's what's taking place again. The birth. And the Bethlehem within you is your, within the solar plexus. It creates that fish in your inner fish where the seed is implanted in, and life merges out of. That is the bread of life. The seed is the bread of life. And so I wanted to move to 12/12. We have an eclipse approaching. And of course we have the I'm trying to look over my notes here, so please excuse me. Then we have 12/21. So both of these numbers, 12/12 and 12/21 are both 3 and 3, 3 and 3, 33 master numbers. 12/12 is all about your Merkaba field, and completing that field. And this, your field, your Merkaba, is so essential to you being able to tap into the Akashic records. You cannot rise through other dimensions without this to attain information about it. And it is the energy field that is going to keep you grounded in your earth plane while you are making those connections. This is more about connecting again into your crystalline light body blueprint. And if you don't know what the number 33 represents, let's go check it out. This is about that a leader. The is an advanced master, the master teacher, which is the most advanced on a spiritual path. The master number 33 represents pure love. And does it make sense then? Your Merkaba, the time that we are approaching, and unity consciousness, Christ consciousness, oneness, love consciousness, how it's all working out. It's all working out. And there's nothing to fear. I tend to stay away from videos, individuals, even if they are claiming to be great spiritual leaders, that embed any type of beware or fear within you. Because if anyone is making you feel fearful, well, one, also, if you are still feeling fear, you have still lots of purging to do. But it's still important to practice the gift of discernment between a good soul and a soul who's still out for their own good instead of the overall good. And these individuals who speak about this, anything that is going to be traumatic, they're trying to still embed a limiting belief within you. Listen from your heart and try to find understanding to see what exactly is true. Nothing harms you unless you allow it to harm you. I have weaned myself away from individuals who I have, those who bring up anything about separation, yet have always talked about love. If I hear one video that talks about separation or of violence or getting back at something, I know that this individual is not true. It is a false prophet. And I'm asking you to please discern yourself within your life and do not become subjected to confusion and a separation. And so I'm going to leave it at this. Before I go, I learned something yesterday. Yesterday was, again, kind of a fugly kind of day for me. I had 2 days filled with intense love filling me. My body was so light and airy. And that's what it feels to be within the 5th dimension. And then yesterday, my body had to catch up with what I was receiving for the past couple of days. And that's what happens when we really feel drained. Our mind is kind of cluttered. We can't get the mind to word connection correct. We're getting confused about things. Your body is trying to catch up to your upgrades, which leaves you feeling very tired, exhausted, confused. Don't take it personally. Know that you are receiving a great blessing. But sometimes we get into that funk and we're like, I cannot shake it. You have to choose to shake it off. Love shall do it. I was feeling really, really drained, and I tried it, and I was driving in the car, and I don't recommend you doing it while you're driving. I shouldn't have, really. Get to a safe place, and I took in love. And my emotional state began to rise. I felt more together, more unified, of course, more loved, more grounded again. So when you find yourself feeling more separated, more depleted, breathe in love with every breath. Speak love in with every breath. Envision love kind of swirling around you. And as I am doing this, I am feeling so loved. This is Christy. Much love, health, and healing your way. I am bringing purpose to your life. Take care.